Good Sunday evening, and thank you for choosing THV 11 tonight. I'm Brooke Buckner, and I hope you've been enjoying your weekend so far. I have meteorologist Simone Thomas joining me now. And Simone, it has been a really good start to August weather-wise. How long can we expect this to last?
You know, it's not going to last that much long. Unfortunately, the good things can't last forever. It is going to get hot again this week, but we do have a little bit more time to savor these cooler than normal temperatures and lower dew points. Currently, we're still hanging out in the middle to upper 80s across a good chunk of central Arkansas. Now, we do have a few neighbors that are a little bit warmer than the rest in the lower 90s. Russellville down in the Arkansas River Valley up to 91. Texarkana off to our southwest around 91 as well. But 85 right now is the current in the capital city. Hot Springs and Pine Bluff checking in at 87 right now. As we continue through the afternoon, we do have a few passing clouds out there. That'll continue through the evening. That northeasterly wind continuing as well, but it does slow down a bit. Another night of lows in the middle to upper 60s expected, and tomorrow looking to rebound to those upper 80s and lower 90s again. So pretty similar to today. We'll talk about how hot it's getting later this week coming up in your 7-day outlook.
Thank you, Simone. We're learning more about a surge in EBT fraud, a growing trend in financial scams, especially 6 months. Hundreds food assistance drained within hours of deposit. THV 11's Catherine Rowley spoke with Attorney General Tim Griffin about how his office is tackling the issue.
This is not a new problem, but the criminals are getting more sophisticated in the way that they go about this.
With the rise of criminals targeting families that receive SNAP benefits, Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin says that it's prevention that is key for keeping the benefits in the hands of Arkansas families instead of the criminals.
Because once the money is gone, it's often impossible to recover it. And so what we want to do is inform people, educate people on what they can do to ensure that their money is safe.
A part of that prevention is making sure you aren't using your card on a skimming machine. Griffin says to ask yourself these questions that can help keep benefits safe.
What that looks like, does it look like it's been tampered with? Does it look like something has been attached to the swiping apparatus technology? Because what will happen a lot of times is they will attach something that can then read the card.
Financial fraud investigations are not new to the Attorney General's office. Griffin created a task force aimed at combating the fraud with a special group that looks at the EBT scams.
This is something that we're tracking. Now, as you know, we just started a financial fraud task force. Recently, we decided that we were going to add in people who are dealing with EBT scams. And particularly, we invited the Department of Human Services to come.
Being vigilant about the purchases on the card and monitoring the account are two important steps to make sure your benefits are safe. But if you do fall victim, it's not likely you'll see any of that money back.
We want people to report this because as we learn the new ways that the EBT scams are being conducted, then we can do a better job of educating and updating what we're telling to the public.
That was Catherine Rowley reporting. The AG's office also said there are multiple agencies that can take reports, but you can always call the AG's office and ask to file a report. A Little Rock man has been arrested months after a deadly shooting. Back in February, officers found 33-year-old Eugene McDaniel shot to death in a car on Labette Manor. Now, 20-year-old Al Fitzpatrick is in custody and charged with capital murder. Police say the investigation is still ongoing. And tomorrow, Travis Posey will be sentenced for the June 2024 shooting at the Mad Butcher grocery store in Fordyce. Posey pleaded guilty last week to 4 counts of capital murder and 11 counts of attempted capital murder. During the attack, he used a shotgun to open fire on customers and employees, killing 4 and injuring 10, including 2 police officers. The shooting shut down the town's only grocery store for nearly 2 weeks. In our national roundup, police are still searching for a suspect on the run after a deadly shooting at a Montana bar. Michael Paul Brown, a former Army soldier, is wanted in connection with the shooting at the Owl Bar in Anaconda that left 4 people dead. Authorities say he left the scene Thursday morning. Federal and local agencies are working together, searching the areas around town in a massive manhunt. There's a $7,500 reward for anyone who could help lead police to Brown. He's considered armed and very dangerous. President Trump lashed out late Saturday at Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and told Senate Republicans to go home for a month-long recess. Willie James Inman has more.
President Trump lashed out at Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer late Saturday, telling him to, quote, go to hell, and abruptly ending talks over dozens of pending nominee confirmations. The president's Truth Social tirade came just hours before lawmakers were expected to strike a deal. Instead, the president told Republicans to, quote, not accept the offer. Republicans hoped to make a deal with Democrats and came close as the two parties and the White House negotiated over moving a large tranche of nominees in exchange for reversing some of the Trump administration's recent cuts to foreign aid, among other cuts. But there was no agreement, prompting the president to attack Schumer and the Senate to head home for a month-long recess.
We were serious about trying to make some progress. But ultimately, Trump wouldn't agree. He took his ball, he went home, leaving Democrats and Republicans alike wondering what the hell happened.
Prior to the face-off between the president and Senator Schumer, the Senate rapidly voted through a number of nominees. Among those given a green light, Jeanine Pirro, who was confirmed 50-45 as the U.S. Attorney for the District of Columbia. In other weekend political news, former special counsel Jack Smith, who investigated President Trump before his re-election, is under investigation. The investigation follows a complaint from Arkansas Republican Senator Tom Cotton, who wrote on X that Smith's investigations of President Trump were politically motivated. Smith led 2 criminal investigations into the president, the classified documents case at Mar-a-Lago, as well as the investigation into Trump's attempts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. Willie James Inman, CBS News, Bridgewater, New Jersey.
From candy wrappers to iconic portraits. Coming up, meet the Fort Worth artists turning trash into pop culture masterpieces.
Below to near average temperatures are expected through the middle part of the week. Then the summer heat and humidity is returning. Your full details on the week ahead are coming up right after the break.